Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, AndrewHeroCinemorph.com. As you easily can see, today we've got the Mad Titan himself in its Thanos, the 1/scale version by Hot Toys in their Guardians of the Galaxy line. We start off with the box and then let's check out the other accessories and then of course all the details on the figure. So enjoy! Okay, we got here the MMS280. I think this is the 4th release in Hot Toys Guardians of the Galaxy line. I mean, all the people are still waiting for Drax, so it's about time that they release Drax, and I really hope they do, because we have to complete this Guardians team now. I mean, basically we got now the super villain from the movie, so we definitely need to have the full complete team together. The box itself is quite tall, I think almost as big as a Hulk box, and it has this nice art print of Thanos on it, on his throne. So yeah, this is the first incarnation of Thanos, and I'm pretty sure that Hot Toys will release a second version with Avengers 3 then, because as you can see you don't get the Infinity Gauntlet yet. And basically I did a bit of research on the character because my knowledge wasn't that deep on the lore and the background of Thanos, and in the end he's basically a very monstrous and deformed Eternal, also called in Eternal with a deviant syndrome. And the deviant genes give him this scarred face, the purple skin, and these monstrous body forms. So it's quite a bit of background story to Thanos, so if you have a bit of time, maybe you can check out, for example, the Marvel Wiki on the internet. So here we go, Thanos out of the box, and let's do first a bit of detail work on the head sculpt, which is probably the most impressive thing when you get this figure out of the box. It's so cool with these scars going on. Maybe we put down a bit the lights, which makes it even more impressive. So this is really well done by Hot Toys, and you feel a bit the likeness of Josh Brolin with it. You can see a lot of Thanos in the 2 movies basically, and so this will be quite interesting to see how this turns out in the future. But really almost perfect match on the head sculpt, I think. Then when we pan down, as you can see, some highlights on the armor, which is in this nice golden tone. It has a bit of weathering here and there. For example, as you can see here, there are some streaks on it, so it's not totally clean. Also here on the back side, here and there, some brown smirks, some lines here and there. So it's really not totally clean, and the gold is also not totally shimmering, so it's more like a flat gold. It looks a bit, not only just a tad toyish, it could be a bit more realistic, I think, if the gold would shine a bit more. But it looks, from a certain distance, it looks really precious, I have to say. Then when we go down a bit more, you can see this loincloth piece. This now is a straight one, you can remove it. It's being put together with these 2 knobs. So you just slide it in and it will hold quite easily. And this is the secondary piece that you will need for the throne, for the sitting pose. And as you can see already, it's quite a bit obvious on the different joints that you will see, especially on the sitting pose. You will see a lot more from the thigh joints here. And then we got here the 2 boots, which are quite impressive and huge. And interesting is that these lower parts here are like flexible rubber, where the upper parts are more hard plastic. So it's like a mixture of materials, but you don't see any seams or anything. So it's quite easily one single piece. Here on top it's hard plastic, and here it's more of a rubbery plastic. So accessory wise, there isn't a lot to this figure. As I said, the secondary loincloth piece, and then you got multiple hands. So basically you have 2 hand styles, the fisted ones and the relaxed ones. They're nicely painted, as you can see, but all hard plastic, so you can't do any articulations with these. And on the figure, as you can see currently, I have the twisted one on the left arm and the relaxed on the right arm. And let's do a short pan on the back side. Here you see some very ugly joints on the knees. So these are really ugly. I mean, basically you also have two different paint jobs, a silverish metallic one on the left and the blue purplish one on the right side. So that's a bit nasty. This piece here is flexible, so he basically can sit on this back loincloth piece, and that's about it. This piece is totally solid. So before we sit him on the throne, let's do a bit of focus on the articulation. So basically, as you already can see, the arm joints here can do like a 90-degree angle, but here, as you already saw, this is a very ugly joint. I really hate that one. Then the arm rotation is really there, so you can do quite a lot with it. What I don't like is the head articulation. You just can rotate it and put it down, but there's no way to put it upwards. So that's about the max. So this is definitely blocked a bit too much. If you want to have him look upwards, it won't be possible. On the legs, it's quite well done. So you have this ratchet joint, and here, as I already told, these ugly joints on the knees. And if you put him in the sitting pose, you will definitely see these ball joints on the thighs. And you will also see these ball joints on the boots. So this is also quite ugly. This part is in this rubbery plastic, but you have absolutely no chance to cover the ball joint somehow. So the only way will be to lift somehow these boots here. Alright, let's go for the main accessory, which is this nice rock throne, which is floating. I measured the throne, which is basically 22 inches, and Thanos himself is about 14 to 15 inches. And what we see here in comparison is Gamora. So here you got a first impression how a normal one-scale figure compares to Thanos himself. But let's do first a focus on the actual throne accessory. So the throne itself comes in multiple different pieces. So you already see there are some clear translucent pieces that connect between the two big rock plates, and then this is a separate piece, and the two armrests are also separate pieces. And then of course you have these two translucent pillars going down to like a deluxe base by Hot Toys, where on the front you will see Thanos, and this is just more or less plain with a bit of a weathered paper cover. So let's do a bit of focus on the downside of these two rock plates, and as you can see there are LEDs included on the bottom side of these rock formations, and the LEDs work quite well. So if I dim down the light a bit, you will see it really looks nice. So you have different multiple LEDs all around the top base and the lower base, and it really puts a nice light down. But what I don't understand is why Hot Toys placed the LED switches below the rock covers. So let's do a bit of focus here. For example, there is the battery compartment of the top base. In there is the LED switch. So here you can put it out and activate it. But you have to cover the battery compartment with these rock cover plates. And of course you have to screw them to fix it in place. And I just don't understand why they put the switch below the cover. It makes absolutely no sense. At least you can put the cover onto the hole and it will hold in place without putting the screw on. It will be a bit loose, but it will hold in place if you don't shake the base too much. So that's at least a bit of a bonus point, but the whole execution should have done another way and not like this with the switch below the actual cover plates. But I think the execution of the actual throne was very well done, especially the setup is quite easy, and as you can see here, these LEDs on the armrest give a nice shine just to the lower level. So the overall impression is really cool, but probably you have to hook it up to, for example, a soap generator to get the full effect. As you can see here, the lower LEDs are also activated, but it's not really visible on the video. But yeah, that's about it. What I observed is that somehow it's not totally straight to the bottom, so it has a bit of lean on one side, but that's probably just a build-up problem, and you probably can fix it with a bit more force and put it into the translucent pillars. So the main question is, how is the sitting pose of Thanos on the throne? And I think overall the execution is very well done for the upper body. So it looks like he's leaning a bit with his upper back. The lower part here on the thighs really have a snug fit. Here's the secondary loincloth piece. And also the arms rest quite nice. So that's really cool. And you can pull up the fist pose here or something like this. So that's really cool, I have to say. But the pose fails a bit in this lower area, precisely on the boots. So if you put down this boot totally flat to the rock base, you will definitely see this ugly blue joint. I have no understanding why they didn't color it in a golden color, because then it wouldn't be that obvious, and you can't put this rubbery piece down as low. So probably I will put in something like this with this relaxed boot here on this side and the flat one on the other side. So let's do a quick 360. Alright, for closing this video review up, I decided to do a bit of a comparison with some other bigger Marvel pieces. So what we got here is the first Avengers Hulk, which is basically, I think, almost 18 inches, 17 to 18 inches. And as I said, Thanos is about 14.5 inches. And according to the Marvel Wiki, Thanos' real height is about 6'8". And the Green Hulk is a bit different. Sometimes he's a bit smaller, sometimes a bit bigger. So basically he can grow in size according to his gamma radiation level. But I think in terms of the comparison, the height difference is quite a good scale. But don't expect to be Thanos as tall and large and bulky as Hulk. He's quite a weight to it, but it's definitely not as tall. So yeah, final conclusion on Thanos, I think it's a bit of it's definitely not a must-have figure, especially looking forward for the next Avengers figure when we got him with the Infinity Gauntlet. But for die-hard Guardians of the Galaxy fans, it's probably a must-have. I really dig the skin tone in this purplish color. Then of course the nice scarring effects on the head sculpt, they're really well done, but there are definitely some flaws in terms of the execution on these joints of the body and also on the throne. It could be a bit better in the end. So I think currently right now paying about $500 US with shipping from Hong Kong, it's probably not worth the deal. But you have to decide for yourself, and I hope this video review helped a bit on deciding whether you get him or not. So thanks for watching, and until next time. Bye bye guys.